that when you think about what you're supposed to do and before you do it, you actually dream about it. What's that call?
Well, for Lee Rose, he wants it to be a premonition of good things to come. He's looking for a 16th point and doesn't get it. Bo Ellis rebounds, and now it's Marquette as the game has shifted one more time. The Warriors trail by 1, and you saw the time remaining.
And UNCC back in the man-to-man again. Look for Jerome Whitehead on a dish.
Butch Lee scores again. Alfred Butch Lee, who nearly single-handedly beat the U.S. Olympic team, representing Puerto Rico, has given Marquette the lead. 20 seconds left.
Marquette in the zone now.
Massey can't hit. Rebound. Rosenberger all the way. Beautiful play by Kinch, and he committed a foul. They said that Kinch fouled, and that will send Rosenberger to the line. 13 seconds left. Here it is again.
Massey had his shot. There was a case for Rosenberger and Lee. Kinch, I'm kind of surprised, didn't go for the block here. He has that great leaping ability, and instead of going for the foul there early, probably been better off going up for the block.
So this game in doubt throughout, even though Marquette had a healthy lead at 23-9 in the first half, lost the lead. UNCC led by 5 early. UNCC had a 3-point lead.
That Marquette would have merely gotten the ball out of bounds. So a very big situation involving the 1-and-1 bonus.
And it puts young Gary Rosenberger in the spotlight. Rosenberger is from Marquette High School in Milwaukee and was a forgotten man. Utah acquired Jeff Jonas, a great player and guard off that team. Rosenberger stayed at home. He is shooting 2. It is a 2-shot violation. That takes the pressure off. And he needs the second one. Oh, Ellis did not know that it was a 1-and-1. He was playing and everyone else was watching. It is a 2-shot violation. So Rosenberger now must make this one, or it shifts one more time.
Well, also importantly, Dick, it's just a 2-point differential now, and they can afford to go down and take a good shot. Lee Rose wants a timeout.
Timeout with 10 seconds left. Now you talk about your 2-minute offense in football. This is the 10-second offense for UNCC. The clock is not official on your screen at the moment.
Defensive ball club, because you can't go ahead and say, okay, obviously Joe Jones is going to take the shot. You can see Marquette trying to stop the inbounds pass a little bit, but they're packed in there in what looks like it's going to be a 1-2-2 zone.
10 seconds left. Cornbread Maxwell, he'll take the shot. Cedric Maxwell. Timeout with 3 seconds left. Well, the man we've been hearing so much about, becoming a household name, Cedric Maxwell, gives you some cornbread.
Here's the play. Very surprising that they beat. Not putting a little bit more pressure on the ball right here. He drove without hardly any man-to-man pressure at all. Makes a great shot, however, and you can't take that away from him. Super shot in a big, tough clutch situation.
When he made the bucket, there were 5 seconds left. By the time out was recognized, 3 seconds left. So Al McGuire, well, isn't that ironic? Look at the score. The nickname of UNCC, the 49ers. And they have just scored 40. Now, 3 seconds left. Each side trying to out-cheer the other. You see some of the University of North Carolina fans. They have joined forces with UNCC, their sister institution in the Tar Heel State, to try to give them a little vocal support. Marquette has 3 seconds to get a shot away.
Dick, you're going to see, of course, you're going to not allow the ball to get inbounds. UNCC dropped their men back to try to pick up somewhat man-to-man, making sure that the inbounds pass is not an easy one. There's the long pass.
Whitehead, go! Jerome Whitehead!
Is it good?
It counts!
There's no signal.
We'll have to get the official signal. Paul Galvin put his hand through the imaginary circle saying it counted. Now it's up to the official score. The biggest decision of this game belongs at the buzzer, where the man who controls the clock, the official scorekeeper, will decide who has won or whether we go into overtime. Jerome Whitehead, the man who has starred for Marquette, rattled it home, and now it's a matter whether it fell before the buzzer. It is good. Marquette, Al McGuire has won. He goes to the finals. Butch Lee, the man who said, I think we love him, shows a lot of emotion. And Al McGuire on an incredible performance by Jerome Whitehead. Here comes Lee Rose to congratulate. Here's the winning play once again.
Remember the Olympic Games against the Russians. Maxwell had his hands on the ball. Just slipped out of his hands. Here comes Jerome up there. Oh, almost basket interference, but there's the shot going through. Controlled shot.
Here it is with the clock running. It starts as soon as it touches Maxwell. 2 seconds. 1 second. Did he get it off in time? Oh, is that close? Apparently he did, according to our unofficial clock. It was
good.
well up
Good
there in
call
time.
by the official and a tough call.
Marquette has won 51-49, and the most valuable player in the game goes to Jerome Whitehead. Who else? A man who has scored very little in the regional tournament, has not played well, has his greatest game as a Warrior. 21 points and leads Marquette into the finals on his last-second desperation shot. And Mr. Whitehead will receive the Track 2 MVP certificate as a personal symbol of his outstanding play. Oh, my, what a first game. Marquette has beaten a tough game UNC Charlotte team 51-49.
One-on-one. He's now starting to draw fouls. Look at him go to work in that court. They must have a lot of condensation here and moisture dripping down from the roof. That was the 16th foul on North Carolina. Marquette has 4. There are 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go. Colescott. Dave Colescott came in to replace Kuester. Kuester will be missed not only for his ball handling ability, but for his defensive ability. He's never missed a game in North Carolina. Kuester, and he's on the bench now for the final game of this season. Semi-stall right here by Marquette. 2 minutes to play. Marquette leading. Jerome Whitehead came back in. Half fouls called on Dudley Bradley.
They fouled the right man, though, Kurt. The worst free throw shooter on the Marquette team is Jerome Whitehead.
He's had only 55% of his free throws this year. Colescott goes out. Bill Ford's back in. Jerome Whitehead at the line shooting 1-1. 1 minute 56 to play. Will it be Marquette or North Carolina? Each club averages about 25 wins a year. And we'll be back at courtside right after we tell you the score. Marquette 51, North Carolina 49. 1:56 to play. Later on, we'll be selecting the most valuable player of this game. The Gillette Track 2 Scholarship Award will be given. A $5,000 check will be sent to the school in the player's name. And the Track 2 certificate is a personal symbol of his outstanding play tonight. Jerome Whitehead, who's hit only 55% of his free throws. He's from Waukegan, Illinois, a junior. He has that one. 52-49, Marquette. 3 for 3 for Whitehead tonight, and 10 out of 11 for Marquette. He hit them both. 53-49, Marquette ahead by 4. 8 points for Whitehead. Fourth, Walter Davis let the ball slip out of his hands and out of bounds.
But it was Butch Lee deflected it, Kurt, got just enough of it that it looked like he couldn't handle it. Hit the line of the pass had been thrown off just enough to fool Davis. Again, Lee making a big play.
Butch Leo inbounded. Gets it into Bernard Tone, and Tone is hit in the face. Been hit in the face. Lee is saying to him, they're this kind of team. They argue among themselves. I asked Al McGuire if he ever had any fist fight with his players. He said plenty of time.
Let's see it again. It appears that Toon got a finger in the eye. Yeah, O'Corn caught him.
Scratch.
And see, he's trying to protect himself, and O'Corn doesn't know that he's hurt. He's trying to tie him up. And Lee's saying, hey, let's take it easy. And Toon is mad because he doesn't feel so good. And Lee and Toon argue.
I got hit in the face, Butch.
That's right.
Butch was mad because he wouldn't give him the ball.
You know, it's interesting that Hank Raymond said one philosophy that I will continue with Al McGuire is the fact that I will let my players argue with me. I'm going to yell at them, but they have the right to yell back. What if they call this a foul on Toon? That would be unbelievable. I can't believe they'd call a foul on Toon in this spot.
I got a kick out of McGuire. He's trying to say, boys, take it easy. Take it calm. He's raging up and down the sidelines himself. Dean Smith was trying to find out here.
Now, here's a case where McGuire said, listen, I was a good sport when Ford went off the other end. I thought he might be hurt. I had my fellas hold up here. Now, the same incident, my man's hurt. What's happened here? He knows he's going to get that aircraft carrier back in the game, Jerome Whitehead. Well, apparently it must be a technical foul or a double foul.
This is Bernard Tone. Now Whitehead is checking back in. And going to the line. They're trying to unscramble the situation here. Walter Davis standing by.
Well, it was O'Corn and Toon who were involved in the play. Toon has shot a technical foul, and it appears now that North Carolina is going to shoot one, although the two officials are going to make certain.
It was a 1-and-1 to Tone shot. They called a technical against Toon.
Gee, with a big important game on the line, that's really a rough call.
And Dean Smith now starting to argue with the officials on the court.
See, what makes that a bad call against Marquette with a 4-point lead, Kurt, is that not only will they get the points, but the ball out of bounds. And Dean Smith apparently wants even more than that.
That's Bill Guthridge in the dark suit, the North Carolina assistant. We have 1 minute and 45 seconds to play. Watch. Oh, here's a play, Dick.
All right, as we saw before, O'Corn accidentally swipes at Toon, hits him in the face. Technically, that's a foul, but no one can see that. We see it because it's slow motion. Toon says, I'm hurt. And any person who feels that kind of pain, and especially around the eye, can't be very happy. And what happens out of that, Toon in his argument must have said something to create a technical foul. They called a foul apparently on O'Corn. He has missed. Or on O'Corn, and that shot, the Toon shot, has been missed 1-and-1. Now the technical shot by Walter Davis of Carolina.
He's shooting two. 53 to 50. He has another one.
Well, then it must have been a technical against McGuire because a bench technical is a two-pointer. And the ball.
51 and the ball. Maybe.
Or a jump ball. Billy Packer can straighten this out for us, Kurt.
They're going to jump it.
O'Corn for reaching in. There was a foul on O'Corn for reaching in on Bernard Toom. That was called, okay? After Bernard had the foul, he came swinging back with the elbow for a flagrant foul. Now, that is why there was a two-shot technical taken by North Carolina. So it's a one foul on O'Corn, then a flagrant on Toom.
There goes Tone in. Missed the shot. They dive for the ball. Look at this. 53-51. Marquette ahead. 1 minute 30 to go. And a foul's on O'Corn. Mike O'Corn. Jimmy Boylan goes to the line for 1-on-1. They never did explain it to the crowd here. They had a foul on O'Corn, a 1-on-1 that was missed, and then Tone in that big mob scene over there evidently threw a flagrant elbow for a deliberate foul. A deliberate foul is 2 shots.
I didn't see that even on the replay, Kurt.
Didn't either. Jim Boylan at the line, shooting 1-on-1. Marquette leading by 2.
Boy, the pressure on these kids. Now, they're They're only 20, 21. Here it is for the national championship, and every time you toe that stripe, you'll remember it the rest of your life.
The last overtime NCAA championship game was in 1963. Loyola of Chicago beat Cincinnati 60-58. Boylan at the line. Joniker's back in the game for Carolina. Boylan makes it 54-51. Marquette.
He's their best free throw shooter, 43 out of 47 all year.
He had them both, and free throws are keeping Marquette ahead. 55-51. They've made 11 out of 13. There's your time clock. North Carolina has a minute 20 to pull this one out. Davis up to the shot. Bo Ellis has the rebound. Ellis covered from behind by Mike O'Koren. Bo Ellis with a mighty rebound. Looking up at the clock. He was fouled from behind by O'Koren.
Here it is again. Davis trying to thread his way up the alley. Did a great job controlling the ball. Partially blocked by Whitehead. Look at Ellis grab that rebound. You have to crawl inside his uniform to get the ball away from him on that job.
That's the fourth foul on O'Koren. McGuire talking to his two ball handlers. That's Dean Smith to his team. 1 minute, 9 seconds remaining. At the line is Bo Ellis. Bo Ellis shoots 75% of his free throws. Leading Warrior rebounding and may win the national title here with deadly free throw shooting in the last 2 minutes. 11 points for Bo Ellis.
And it's free throw shooting that has gotten Carolina here.
They hit him 4 in a row they've made now. Pass down to Waller Davis. 57-51. Davis goes and hits the shot. 57-53 Marquette. North Carolina calling timeout, a minute 4 to go. All right, they put the all-court press on. And the foul is on O'Koren. That's all for him. He's out. Mike O'Koren fouls out.
He had to sacrifice himself. This is a matter of playing the clock, too. 2 seconds consumed in that inbounds pass. O'Koren committing the foul to stop the clock. Carolina can only hope that Marquette will not be successful at the free throw line.
Marquette may win this national championship by making only 31% of their shots in the second half, while North Carolina's made 53%. O'Koren, the freshman, is gone. There he is, 31 points on Saturday against Nevada of Las Vegas. And he wound up with 14 tonight, scored 86 points as an 18-year-old freshman in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, any coach in the country just salivate thinking about having him for 3 more years. What a player.
North Carolina, you'll remember, won it 20 years ago. They've been in the Final Four 5 times. Al McGuire lost to North Carolina State in the championship 3 years ago. Bo Ellis makes it 58-53. 1 minute, 2 seconds to go, and the Carolina crowd very quiet right now. Marquette across the way, up on their feet, roaring. You can see them over there. 59-53. Marquette in the lead. It'll take a furious rally. Davis up. Davis, shot is no good. He'll go to the line. Walter Davis, the Olympian, he's in the top 5 of all-time North Carolina in scoring, rebounding, and assists. 59-54, the 4th leading scorer of all time in North Carolina history. By the way, Charlie Scott, Billy Cunningham are here watching this game tonight. Joniker has the ball. 59-54. Ford off to Davis. Davis goes for the hoop. Foul again as he drove. A holding foul call.
Stay tuned for a 1-hour special program, Ali the Fighter, immediately following the conclusion of this championship basketball game on most stations, with the exception of the West Coast.
Foul gives Waller Davis 2 shots. 47 seconds, still time. 59-55, Marquette.
Longest minute of Al McGuire's life.
This is the second one, and Rosenberger has it. They triple team him, and Phil Ford fouled him from behind. but he had to. They got to take a chance that Rosenberger will come down and miss the free throw in the 1-and-1. Carolina will get the ball back again. The third foul on Phil Ford. Now we're down, Dick, to 43 seconds remaining. Marquette leading 59-56. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network. Kurt Gowdy, Dick Enberg, Billy Packer back with you, the Omni in Atlanta. Jerome Whitehead checked in. They want him underneath for a rebound in case that free throw's missed.
McGuire has used his bench so beautifully in these little timeouts or breaks in the time.
He's used only 7 men. A shot by Rosenberger. Great free throw shooting by Marquette here in the clutch tonight. They have made 16 out of 18, 17 out of 19. North Carolina 11 out of 16, 61-56. Marquette steals the ball down to Butch Lee. Lee goes for the layup and has it. 63-55. Marquette has won it. 30 seconds. Waller Davis. Foul call as he swept down the lane. When Lee sank that layup, he went roaring down the court. There's Al McGuire, his last college game ever. He says he will not go to a Marquette game as a spectator for exactly 1 year. Then after that, he will be Marquette's greatest fan.
As Al put it simply, it's like being on a wonderful merry-go-round for all this time. The merry-go-round stops. I'm off the carousel, and it'll keep going, and Hank Raymond will keep the program going. But it's another storybook, Kurt. It's sports. It only can happen, it seems, in this wonderful world in which we work. A man who didn't think he'd even be in the tournament. He gave up on even having a chance to be in the tournament. Here he is, 26 seconds away from completing that impossible dream.
He said he drove his team down the stretch like a jockey, taking the whip from his right hand to his left hand. They lost to Michigan their last game of the year. They lost 7 games coming into this tournament. But how they did it when it counted. They beat Kansas State by a point in the regional. They beat North Carolina of Charlotte Saturday as the buzzer went off. And now they're leading by 8 points with 26 seconds. Butch Lee high with 19 points. Waller Davis has 16. And right now, Dick, I think you'd have to name Butch Lee the most valuable player of this game.
A marvelous athlete, an All-American, and he almost beat the U.S. single-handed. Butch Lee wins our Track 2 Scholarship Award.
There it is, the Rosenberger. They go after him. Marquette, there's a foul. Incidentally, another Al McGuire story. The opening practice this year at Marquette, Butch Lee was dribbling around, and McGuire stopped the practice and said, "Butch, I know you got 35 points against the U.S., but what would mean more to me if you'd won the game and scored 2. Remember that." And he said, "I did it in a little psychology. I was trying to bring him down a little bit."
You know, another point that he makes too, Kurt, that's kind of interesting. He says, when you have a good team, you recruit 5 good players out of high school. That means that you have 5, the opponents have 5. 40-minute game, you divide 40 by 10 minutes. Al McGuire's mathematics are that means each player gets the ball 4 minutes. He says, what do you do the other 36 minutes? Do you play defense? What do you do away from the ball? Do you rebound? It's the man who can play the other 36 minutes of the game. That's Al McGuire's player.
There's his replacement next year. The new coach in the light tan suit, Hank Raymond, will be the coach and athletic director. McGuire in the dark suit. Up above them, look at those Marquette fans.
And while we look at the yellow pom-poms that celebrate in the Marquette section, we want to remind you to stay tuned. A 1-hour special program, Ali the Fighter, Muhammad Ali, immediately following the conclusion of this championship game on most stations, with the exception of the West Coast.
All the Marquette Warriors have to do now in the next 19 seconds is protect their 8-point lead. Marquette has won 20 or more games for 11 consecutive seasons, but so has Dean Smith. He's averaged 25 wins a year. And when we opened the show tonight, we told you what a matchup. 2 of the elite of college basketball, 2 big-name coaches, and one of them coaching his last game. Didn't get a better dramatic backdrop than that. Here's Jimmy Boylan to make it 64-55. What free throw shooters this Marquette team has been. Very sad North Carolina team. sitting over there in their bench. 65-55. Down it comes to Della Garrett. Marquette, the national champ. Walter Davis got it. Look at Davis hang in there. 65-57. He'll almost certainly be an outstanding throw. And North Carolina still not giving up. Calls another timeout. And McGuire, who says, I'm an entertainer. I entertain the fans. He's never used a blackboard, a film, or a whistle in his coaching. Hank Raymond does the coaching. He says, I direct the entertainment.
You know, Kurt, looking at his face, we said last year, on his wall in his coaching office at Marquette University, he has a number of clowns' faces, pictures of clowns, and at times the man McGuire seems to be hiding behind a clown's mask, but beneath is a man with great spirit and fight, intelligence, charisma. He's a battler. He's off the streets of New York. It's going to be sad for us to say goodbye to Al McGuire, even in a happy moment.
Is he a con man? Is he a put on? I saw him play in college. I saw him cover Bob. He was one of the dirtiest players I ever saw in the NBA. He had to be. He didn't have the ability. He was tough. One night, Cousy came out of the game. He said, the man beat me black and blue out there, but I didn't score many points. And so that's the way he's coached. His team defensively, scratch, claw at you, stop you. He's had to emphasize defense.
He's the kind of man, as one reporter put it, he would steal your wallet and then turn around and give it to you and smile as if to say, be careful. Dean Smith. Almost completed the Big Quinella, the Olympics and the NCAA. He's been here 5 times, twice in the final game. And now he has to be wondering, what a tough road this is. It started way back on October 15th.
Look at him. Rupp Schuster's had 16 years. Will not accept a transfer. McAdoo's the only one he ever took out of a junior college. And he, when Boylan wanted to come to North Carolina, he called Al McGuire and said, you should take Boylan. He's going to leave Assumption. I don't take transfers. That Boylan went to Marquette. Now Boylan's helped beat North Carolina tonight. We're ready to go with 11 seconds. Marquette about to win the National Collegiate Championship. Foul is called on North Carolina. Just a parade to the foul line now. Again, Marquette will go down and shoot a one-on-one. I'll tell you, both these clubs are lucky being in the finals. 1-point win by North Carolina over the, look at that. McGuire, I think, is crying.
He won't let himself. It's tough for him to show his emotions. He would rather be out under his favorite tree all alone and thinking about this and counting the flowers and smelling a wonderful life. Thank you, Al McGuire. Thank you for the many great moments you've given us.
He goes backpacking in New Zealand. This is motorcycle rider. Very interesting man. Loves the outdoors. Marquette hits another free throw. And the new national champs lead by 9.
And you know who Al McGuire is crying for, not himself, his players. He wanted it for them.
10-point lead, 8 seconds to go. Deflected away. Marquette takes it out. Lee forced that turnover. Butch Lee is our most valuable player in the tone. Here comes Walter Davis. What a hustler this Davis is. 2, 1. There's the gun. The basket counts. And Marquette has won the national championship. That was Dean Smith who came down. McGuire choked up. What a speed. This is, people say, how do you stay in sports this long, Kurt? I'll tell you, this is why. This is why. This is what it's all about, the drama. The human personality I don't think any other business can offer. Now look at the opposite side. A happy young senior climbing the net. This was an upset win. Not a big upset, but the way they did it by 8 points. And McGuire going off a winner. A winner. He's been a winner all the way.
Basketball's Don Quixote. The impossible dream is realized.